So y'all, this was literally the driest reunion I've seen for Married at First Sight that I've seen in a very long time. And the fact that they're dragging this over 2 weeks is insanity. Insanity. Why? Y'all, when I tell you I could have had a V8.
Only apply that. Get it, don't be timid when you ain't apply that. Love a phone, give along, need it. I don't want no trip, baby, say like
My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay?
Guys, let's get into it. And you know how I do it. I'm going to go couple by couple, or arrangement by arrangement, hell, because the couples we had at the beginning are not necessarily the couples that we have today. So as we get here, you know, Kevin Frazier is hosting, and sets the stage, and everyone is out together, and we're just kind of seeing how everyone is. And if I can start out by saying, Michelle, I feel like she ate. I fear like the look was looking. Carla looked incredible. Looked good. Everyone really brought their A game in terms of the looks. I even liked Camille's makeup. I thought she looked really, really good. And so now we're just kind of checking in with everyone. We know that the only marriage that there was Camille and Thomas. And so I guess that was the thought on everyone's mind. Are they still together? Alas, they are, and they decided to spend an unbearable amount of time talking to these two. We find out that they'd have a place together now, which again is what I said the entire time. We didn't have to make it a whole melodrama, right? You're going to get a place together. And apparently they live right around the corner from so they've been spending a lot of time together, but they are thriving in their marriage, very happy. They've been traveling, they've been to London, doing all of the touristy, newlywed types of things. They've been asked if they're going to be trying for a baby. I know a lot of people were saying in last week's watch along that Camille looks a little puffy. You know what I mean? But a woman has her own prerogative, and her body's her body, okay? And so she was not pregnant, and they're not planning on it soon. But she does know that being a mother is part of her life plan. She feels like that is what she is here on the earth to do. And at this point, you know, Thomas is just happy to be chose. Thomas looks good. I mean, again, it's amazing what a good woman can do for your life. And this is what we were trying to push the entire time in terms of Camille, girl. Love on that man. Show that man what you need, what you want. And he is going to utterly comply. Because at this point, he's down for you really, really bad. Again, I think Thomas was probably my biggest surprise throughout this. He was so unproblematic. He was so willing. He was so just into Camille and into the process to see it through to the very end. And, you know, I'm happy for their growth and for their progress. I will say this about Camille, honey. She seemed like she in everybody's business, and we'll get to that later. Okay, we'll get to that later. Next, we have Carla and Juan. Again, you know, she looked good. He's gonna him, trying to give advice from the peanut gallery, which I really, really don't care about. I think we'll get more of them in the second part of the reunion. But again, everyone seems like they're moving in the directions, doing what they need to be doing for them. Then we have, of course, we know that Madison and David are together. They live together, okay, in her apartment. Like I said, the basement dweller would be encroaching on her domicile. And hey, if the Whore of Babylon likes it, I love it. They seem very happy. Again, with a father like hers who condones probably all of her poor choices and bad behavior, it doesn't surprise me. They feel like they are each other's loves of their lives. Where she was hesitant before, she said that she fully knows now that this is her person, and she could never say she has regrets if this is what led her to being with her person. David issues a more genuine apology. He said he's had time over the past year to sit with himself and reflect, to know that what he did was really wrong. He disappointed Michelle. He disappointed his family. And, you know, he just lied. and it is what it is at this point. I sat there last night and I was just really like, y'all are still cramming this down our throats. But I guess this was a part of the season. They're seemingly happy, and you know what? Do what y'all do. I just never want to see y'all again. You know what I mean? I just personally never want to see it again. Next, of course, we have MM and Akechi, and they actually have a one-on-one with Kevin Frazier, and he's, I don't want to say Akechi was apologetic, because he really wasn't. He issued some sort of random apology, but Akechi is still Akechi. He's still defensive. He's still obstinate. He's still nasty. He's still very sassy. Yes, I'm saying sassy because that is the definition of a sassy man, in my opinion. And he says he does wish that he had handled things differently. He said ultimately for him, the sexual attraction and chemistry was just never there. And rather than tiptoe around it, he feels like now in hindsight, he should have just told her. And she says, well, yeah, that would have helped because you never said that. And as far as sexual contact, you were the first one to initiate it. They get into the whole violated consent, and he's going to backtrack on that. They of course roll the footage because that's what they're going to do. And again, it just gave very lackluster. Kevin asked MM if she apologizes for the letter that she wrote wishing him the worst, and she said, in the moment, that's how I felt. And it was what it was. And Kevin said, you had to dig deep for that, didn't you? And she said, not really. Not really. This is what I do. But again, they just say they both wish that things would have been different. We all know he mishandled her and what that looked like. And, he says he's dating. We know she is with Brandon. And yeah, again, it didn't give. Everyone was very much, I felt, on their best behavior, right? We sit down and they decide that they need to have a moment with Allen and Madison. Now, what was the upset and shock for me is that seemingly Allen has forgiven Madison. They hang out. His new girl, who appears to be a woman of color. I mean, I don't know. The face was blurred out. Somebody help me and let me know who Alan Woman is. But he says he's as happy as a lark. This is someone that he began dating before the process. And after all was said and done, she's re-entered his life, and he's making the best of it. Okay. But apparently he and Madison and David, they're buddies again. Okay, but again, they do talk, and he feels like it was a betrayal. He wishes that she would have been honest from the beginning instead of lending out these like life, I guess, preservers of hope, glimmers of hope that were never going to be there. Because like I said, and David admits in this reunion, that the attraction started in Mexico on the honeymoon in the gym. Now, while she continues to lie, because Kevin asked, did anything happen, before, what was going on, and she's lying, okay? We know y'all were hunching. We know y'all have been hunching the majority of this season, but again, they want to double down on the lie. But again, she's very apologetic. I was so wrong. I did this. But again, I can't regret it because it brought me to the love of my life. Alan seems over it, and I'm happy for him. He says that it wasn't tenable to stay in that place of pain and hurt and, betrayal, but it was a betrayal. And so I'm glad everyone's on the same page about that. Did I really feel like it was necessary to bring them back in the same room and have this? I don't feel like he should be forced to look at these people. But again, at this point, if they're all hanging out and buddy, who are me to judge? Towards the end, we see Basement Dweller and Michelle. They meet, and again, she's like, it was never about you doing what you did. It was the multiple weeks of lies. And listen, Michelle, all she needed was her moment. We've said this from the beginning, that for her, it was like, you were almost 40. You gave me this man living in the basement. I knew something was amuck. When the text message was sent that sank 1,000 ships, that was just her justification for her being nasty and rude. Because it's always been the thing of, girl, we know he's not your match. Just say that. But she berated him on a regular basis. You know what I mean, Michelle? You did that. And at the end of it, I just don't think that she felt he was worthy of getting someone, or that someone, I guess, like a Madison, whatever that means, would want him, and they did lie in her face. So for that, I'll give her that. But again, it was never about him. It was never about the betrayal of it all on her end. It was really just a matter of, I'm going to be the one leaving without a happy ending, you know? So I believe is everyone dating someone? Y'all drop it in the comments, honey, because I was in and out. It was so boring and so dry. I know that Allen is seeing someone. Of course, we know Madison and David together. Akechi said he's dating. Got somebody. I think Michelle might be the only one that's single. Y'all drop it in the comments and let me know. And so again, the last question Kevin Frazier asks David, before they say to be continued, is, was stuff going on before you guys announced it or at the time of the text message? So we'll see what he says. I have a feeling he's going to lie, because they've been presenting this united front and lying the whole time. I don't see what the point of a lie is now. Everything's out on the table. I don't see why you just don't tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God, We get out, we talk to the ladies. There's still enmity between Michelle and Madison. Michelle says she hangs out with everyone else except Madison. And Madison, they go back to a clip and footage of her saying, I don't know why Michelle's bringing me into this. That's her issue she's got to deal with, knowing all the while she was cozying up to Michelle's man. Madison is duplicitous. She's not good, y'all. It's just not good. It's just not good. But apparently Camille and Madison are very close. And Camille are very close. Camille seems to be the common denominator amongst all of them. Carla basically said, after the grimy behavior, I couldn't really see, Madison being a part of my life. Of course, we talked to the guys, and Thomas and Juancho both say, we wanted to love David. We love David. He was our best friend. But after we see how he did to Allen, it's hard to come back from that. But it seems like they all have a very civil situation, with some of the couples, spending more time together than others. Now, the one thing I will say that I thought was interesting was when Madison and Allen were in there talking to Kevin Frazier, she says, I really wish we hadn't been introduced to the other couples. The women got together, it was just a beef fest, and all they did was complain, and that really didn't help. I feel like if I would have just been with my partner, with Allen, the whole time, things could have worked out differently. And my thing is, girl, you really have no self-control. You really have no self-control. No, you chose to be the whore of Babylon, baby. Didn't nobody make you do that. Just because you met these people didn't mean you had to open the box for them. You know what I mean? But y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of Married at First Sight Season 18 Reunion Part 1. And let's talk about it, you guys. We'll be back next week to do the final watch party for it. I took some time because I just needed to be stress and anxiety free this week, but upload. So I will be back for this review and a couple of others this week. So please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, do all of the things, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.